Brothers and sisters, the time has come to bid farewell to Mawla. Honestly speaking, this is the most difficult moment in the journey of ziyarah, to bid farewell to your Mawla. Oh Ali, we came to this land in your love. Oh Ali, we live our life in your love. Oh Ali, we wish to die in your love.
Inshallah, once we reach the shrine of hzt Abbas, we will recite the ziyarah and also something on Abul Fadl. But you know what day it is today? It is the day of Jum'ah, the day when the Dhuhur of Sahib al-Asri wal Zaman is expected. We have arrived in Karbala, the land of the Madlumiyah of Imam Hussain. Salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi wa salawatullahi.
Permission from hzt Abbas, and now we're here to do the ziyarah of Imam Hussain, the Madlum of Karbala, the Madlum of Hunayn. Heart, I will shackle you in chains if you forget Hussein's name. I will sever from you his eyes. I will deny you light years. Raise your hands towards the Lord. Raise your hands, show your hand to your Mawla. Salam Hussain
Tonight is very difficult, even for myself to recite. If one understands the magnitude of where we're sitting, it makes your tongue stop. In my own life, I was once blessed to have recited from the member of Sayyid al-Shuhada, and today, the second time in my life that I've had the blessing to recite here. But right behind you, a couple of meters in, is the actual grave of hzt Abbas. Do you want to give your condolences today to Abbas? I don't think you'll ever get an opportunity like this to do so. Right behind you, right in front of me is that grave. And let me tell you something else, there's no one here to stop you from crying. believe me, they say when Sakina would cry, a man would come behind her. You know what she would do? Go and look at what they write. I don't know, I wasn't there, but I'll tell you what they write. You know what they write? They say when the head of Sayyid al-Shuhada was brought to her, the very first thing she said, Father, forgive me that I stutter in my speech. Shame Ghariba, when I was slapped on the face, it was so hard that from then onwards, every time I speak, I begin to stutter. I think some of you have daughters, right? Imagine your small daughter and somebody comes from behind. They say Rabab was watching, but hands were tied behind her back. Look, I can look into your eyes. I know who has daughters here. You know when your small daughter comes running to you, Father, you must have had a tough day today. She comes and she hugs you, right? That's what Sakina used to do for Imams. Person coming back from Karbala told me when my son fell, he had no arms. Did his chest hit the ground first? Did his head hit the ground? They say Ayatollah Yahya Yathrabi was a very big scholar. He would go to the minbar, recite. Story by him. He says one day, he said he came, he was an old man. He said there was a wise on the minbar reciting. He said that wise recited something. He said Ayatollah Yahya Yathrabi carried on crying and crying and crying. You know what he recited? He said an arrow went in the eye of Abbas. Right? Arrow went in the eye, began to cry. They say that when this wise came down, he says, listen son. He says it's possible that hadith is wrong. Why do you recite it for I'm an old man? I'm an old man. I can't take it. He says that night, he says, when I went to sleep, he said in my dream, I saw Abul Fadl, but Ayatollah Yahya Yathrabi narrates this. He says, why did you stop my wise from reciting the arrow went into my eye? He says, Mawla, I didn't know I'm an old man. He says, no, the arrow did go into my eye. He said, but when something goes into your eye, it hurts you a lot. He says, it was hurting me a lot. He says, but I didn't have any arms. So I was moving my body side to side because I couldn't take out the arrow.